So very good morning. Uh, we will wait for 1 to 2 minutes so that some of one is done. So very good afternoon. Uh,
Good afternoon, sir.
so, see, I think your first time you are joining. This is your first day, I think. Yes, Sakti.
Hello.
Okay. Okay, fine. So,
I was busy in the preparation of the interview. That's why.
okay. So, what about your admission in the IITs? क्या हुआ? इसका कुछ?
I have got a call from ISC Bangalore in the branch of Instrumentation and Applied Physics, and
हाँ.
a call from IIT Bhilai in the
हाँ.
Department of Electrical Engineering. Till now, these
Okay.
things.
So, what about those particular interviews? कुछ हुआ कि नहीं?
I'm preparing for that, sir. The interview is scheduled on 18th May and 21st May.
IISc बैंगलोर में कब है?
21st May को है, sir.
अच्छा, तो अभी तक इंटरव्यू नहीं हुआ क्या?
No, sir. Till now, it hasn't been conducted.
ओके.
It has
ओके,
been
फाइन.
called from MTech Research, actually. MTech Research plus PhD,
ओके.
not MTech.
That means integrated PhD, right? I think.
I think so. As they haven't cleared yet that what actually the course is. They had only mailed me that it is research course.
Okay. Okay. Actually, some of our alumni will be there in the IISc
Yes,
Bangalore.
I know one
It's
of them,
okay.
but he
Anuj
hasn't.
Kumar. Okay, you have to communicate with the Anuj Kumar. He will. He is in
Texted him
IISc Bangalore.
I know that, sir, but I texted him, but yet he haven't responded me yet.
Okay, 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 okay. So then I will talk with him. Okay, then I will
Yes,
told
sir.
you regarding your. So if you need some any such kind of help regarding what type of interview going on,
Actually,
and
I
then
come with her and come to meet a senior on the online platform that he's also
okay,
from the IC Bangalore. He told me
okay,
that the course is totally research oriented.
okay,
He
okay.
helped me a lot.
He also put that take the admission in the integrated PhD also. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
that's PhD 5 years,
Hmm.
5 years, 6 years, I think.
Yes, sir. 5 years.
So I will talk with Anuj. Okay, then I will tell you okay, what type of things will be going on.
Okay,
Right?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will start our session. So in the previous week we will discuss. Okay, Shakti, you mute your microphone so that there will be some noise. Okay, so in the previous lecture, we will discuss about the lecture about the development of the electron avalanches, right? And the high voltage engineering. What are the different methodology we are adopting or we are developing for the electron avalanches? Suppose the tungsten primary ionization coefficient and as well as the development of the electron avalanche in the uniform field and as well as the non-uniform field that we will discuss in the previous lecture. Okay, so we will directly go to the components which will be required for the developing for the electron avalanches. Okay, so initially we will know that the electron will be organized in a gaseous dielectric gap space between the two electrodes when the two electrodes are collided with each other, or they are when they are collided with each other. So either they have ionization for the natural molecules for the photon for the in the cosmic rays, or they can ionized by the ultraviolet illumination of the cathodes. Okay, or latter stage, this particular photon from this particular discharge itself, the electric field will be applied. Okay, so from this particular collision of the particular two electrodes, we will know that the kinematic energy thus acquired by this particular electrode can be very much high due to this particular collision with the natural molecules. It may be ionized or them in a random manner to getting the higher values of to getting the okay, someone is coming. Okay, so to getting the higher values of a vibrational state or the for the higher excitation. Okay, so we will also see that the when the electron gains more such kind of energy, then it will require for the ionization of the gas molecules, and then it is very much capable to eject, or we can say that this particular ejection of the particular electron due to for the natural molecule, which is a collision of this particular natural molecule and leaving behind the positive ions. Okay, so in the previous lecture we will discuss how the particular ions will be modulated from the cathode to the anode and as well as the anode to the cathode. Okay, so we will directly go to the screen share portion, so that you will understand these things. Hmm. See, uh, fine. So So in this previous lecture, we will discuss about this. These are the two electrodes which we will see. One is a cathode, another one is a anode. Okay, and how the electron emission will be takes place due to this particular electric field. Okay, will be takes place that we will discuss in the previous lecture. Mm, that we will discuss in the previous lecture. That means the development of the electron avalanches in the uniform field. Okay, so the electron, the development of electron avalanche in the two fields. One is a uniform field, okay, and another one is a non-uniform field. Okay, so in the uniform field and the non-uniform field, that is the two parameter where we will see that the different type of development which will be organized in the electron avalanches. Okay, so that we will discuss. Okay, so again when we have to discuss these things. Okay, so in between the distance, if the d will be the distance between the two electrodes. Okay, so what will be the electron gain? Okay, what will be the gain of the particular development in the uniform field, electron in the uniform field, that we will discuss in the previous lectures. Okay, we will also discuss the equation which will be known as a d of nx is equals to nx into alpha into dx, where we will see that alpha will be nothing but a tungsten primary ionization coefficient, and nx will be nothing but a number of electrons that will be at a distance of an x. okay, from the cathode. Okay, so we will choosing some points. Okay, we will choosing some points from where we have to decide it. So that portion will be your x. Okay, and the total distance will be your d. So for that cases, this equation will be takes place. Okay, so if I integrate these things, okay, so if I integrate these things, so that will come, that will come, that means nx.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, can you please share the screen, sir, as we are unable to understand, sir.
I already shared the screen.
So, but the is not visible at my phone, sir.
That is not visible. I think some of one give some response. Is their screen is visible or not?
So only your face icon is we can see it hardly, sir.
Okay, okay. So I make another response. Jones one Singh, this the screen is visible or not? I think.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
I think you have a problem, Sakti, in your mobile or whatever the connection you have right now. Because
Okay, sir.
I
Again
already shared.
joining it.
Okay, again you will rejoin. Okay, again you
Okay,
will
sir, okay, sir.
Sakti, you can rejoin again.
Okay, sir.
rejoin again so that there will be some connection error. Okay, so now we will see that if we if we integrate this equation, the above equation, we will get that nx is equal to n0 into e to the power alpha x. Okay, where nx will be nothing but a, and now number of electrons, the nx will be nothing but a, the number of electrons at a distance of a x on the cathode. Okay, so here it will be see that then the uniform field where the field intensity is defined by the E, which will be very much constant. Okay, so the ionization coefficient, which can be say as an alpha, okay, that can be considered also as a constant by integrating. That will be considered only in a uniform field. Okay, so by integrating this equation, the above equation, this means this equation, if we integrate this particular equation, integrate this particular equation, then we will get this equation. Okay, so now we will apply the initial condition where before integrating this equation, now we have to consider, let us assume that, nx is equals to n0. Okay, and where x is equals to 0. Okay, that will be actually the condition where we have to implement it whenever in case of a uniform field, not in the non-uniform field, right? Okay, so now from the non-uniform field where we can say that the alpha will be not in a constant. Okay, so the above equation can be written, this equation can be written in such a way that in a non-uniform field it will see that the nx is equals to n0 exponential of your coefficient term, which will be lies between 0 to x alpha of dx. Okay, so that will be the equation of a distance, okay, of a particular electron from cathode to the anode, okay, in a non-uniform field where we can say that the non n0 is actually nothing but a the number of electrons which will be emitted per second from the cathode, and which will be also known as the initial number of electrons. That means how much number of electron will be flow from cathode to the anode section. Okay, that will be defined by your n0. Okay, so therefore in the if the gap will be very much small, okay, where we can say that in case, therefore in case of a very small gap distance, the number of electrons striking to the anode, if the condition will be happen x is equals to d, so for that cases again we have to remodify this equation, that is nd. The d is actually what, the distance between anode and cathode, so nd is actually your n0 into e to the power alpha into d. Okay, where alpha is your coefficient and d is actually the distance between the uh, mm, distance between the two electrodes. Okay, that means that what, okay, on the average, the each electron leave to the cathode will be produce a new electron. So whatever the electron which will be leave the cathode, then there will be some hollow gaps which will be there in the cathode, then again this particular new electron will be developed in the particular cathode. Okay, and same number of positive ions which will be travel at a distance of a d to the anode. Okay, so this particular expression, all those expressions, okay, so this expression Okay, and these expressions, all those expressions are so distinctly for the exponential and the average form of a growth of a number of charges carried by the primary or the secondary process, or we can say that in the previous lecture we will discuss that there will be in the ionization process, in the photoionization process we have a two process. One is an alpha process, which will be the primary process, okay, and as well as the beta process. Okay, so normally we will say there will be the primary process whenever some avalanche breakdown will be takes place. Okay, now the next point will be the Townsend first ionization coefficient alpha is the function of the electric field intensity. Okay, so alpha will be nothing but it depends upon your whatever the electric field intensity is. Okay, so then alpha will be depends upon E. If E will be constant, then also the alpha will be constant. If E is increasing, then alpha will be increasing. If E is decreasing, then alpha will be decreasing. So depending upon the what the value we are assigning for the electric field intensity, depending on that your coefficient will be changed, and that will depends upon whether you are using the uniform field or whether you are using the non-uniform field, right? So what we can say that the Townsend fast ionization coefficient alpha is a function of the electric field intensity, and at a constant temperature it will be depends upon the gas pressure, and alpha will be also depends upon a pressure P. Okay, if the temperature will be the constant. Okay, if the temperature is constant, right? If the temperature will be constant, then again we have to see in the previous lecture that alpha by P, that we will see by P is equals to f of E of P, E of P. Okay, the alpha by P will be nothing but the function of the electric field intensity divided by the pressure when the time will be sorry, temperature will be constant. Uh, when the temperature T will be the constant, and the E will be defined as a volume per centimeter. Okay, pressure will be defined as a torr, that will be the unit of this. Okay, and alpha are in a centimeter inverse. Okay, so that will be the unit of this. Okay, so again if you have to again the coefficient alpha, this particular alpha, the coefficient alpha can be calculated with the help of a molecular parameter. Okay, so however alpha is usually obtained the experimentally by measuring the multiplication of the electron in the high electric field. Okay, where we can say that if I consider the atmospheric air or the dry air, then the above equation, this equation can be modified like this. This equation can be modified alpha by P is a nearly approximate equal to 1.11 into that will be the density of the air. Okay, EP minus 25.1, that is square. Okay, so this equation is actually this equation we actually plotted graph between what, between alpha by P and your E by P. Okay, if you plot the graph, we will trace the how the electron avalanches will be takes place between the field electrons. Okay. Okay, so rather we will able to take the first trace of the electron avalanches, where we can see that the graph between the alpha by P and the E by P, and we will use so that the Wilson cloud chamber, this will be also called as a Wilson cloud chamber. Okay, which causes the consideration of the water vapor droplets of the charge carrier at an avalanche to the appropriate gas pressure. Okay, so the now we will see that the what we can say particular graph. Okay, the graph is between the alpha by P and your E by P. Okay, E by P. Okay, here we will see the alpha by P is in a x-axis. Okay, and this that will be in a y-axis, whatever it is, E by P. Okay, that will be defined by the torr, and that will be centimeter by torr inverse. Okay, so here we will see this particular graph we will be show the apparent ionization coefficient of alpha by P as a function of E by P for the normal air. Okay, air will be nothing but a dry air. Okay, or we can say that the uh, atmospheric air, right? we can say that it will be the atmospheric wear. So that experiment or that graph we will see not in the theoretical way, but we can see that when we will do the perform some practical examination or the practical thing, then we will show this type of graph. So whenever we have to increase the your, we will see that will be the vice versa. If the alpha will be constant, E will be constant, then alpha will be, must be constant. That we will show. That means if I increase this thing, that will be also been increased. Okay. If it will be the value of E will be this, then for that cases it will be 60. So if the value of this 80, then your value of this will be also been increased. Okay. So that will be lower. Okay, 10 to the power 0, 10 to the power minus 1, 10 to the power minus 2, 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, so this will be go downwards, negative words. Okay, so if the value will be increasing in manner, if value of E will be increased, so for that cases alpha will be also be increased. So E will be actually proportional to alpha. Okay. So in this experiment, we will see that a short duration of the voltage pulse, that which will be applied to the particular electrode system. Okay. So when the voltage will be applied reaches its desired peak value, okay, just sufficient to develop a avalanche breakdown. So whenever we have to apply such kind of voltage, so for that cases your E will be increased, and if your E will be increased, so for that cases your alpha is also increased, and that will be developed a avalanche. Okay, and it has to be maintained at a particular magnitude. Okay, that was not allowed to it would not be allowed in such a way that you will lead to the breakdown process. Okay, so whatever the breakdown you will be suggested in the cathode section, that will be defined what is the voltage you are applied to the particular peak value. Okay, that will be depends upon due to your avalanche breakdown. Okay, so just in this particular stage, what we will see that the primary electron were produced to the electrode system with the help of a external spark discharge, okay, source, okay, which will be shown in this particular figure. I will show you this particular figure. So here we will see that we are using the two cathode. One is a positive cathode section, and there will be a negative section. Here this particular avalanche will be takes place. Okay, whenever such kind of electron which will flow from anode to cathode, or it will flow from cathode to anode. Okay, so that will be known as a that chamber is actually known as a cloud chamber. Okay, that chamber will be known as a cloud chamber, where this particular avalanche breakdown will be takes place. Okay, that which will show in this particular figure. Okay, that will give the rise of a development of the electron avalanches. Okay, so due to the applied of the voltage, okay, so whatever the voltage you are applied to this particular electrode, depending upon that your avalanche breakdown will takes place inside this particular cloud chambers, and that will develop due to this particular electron avalanches. Electron avalanche. Okay. So in order to, we can say that also, in order to avoid this particular breakdown, what we will do the process will be controlled by a steep reduction in the applied voltage. If you reduce this particular applied voltage, what voltage you are applied, okay, if we have to avoid this particular breakdown inside this particular cloud chamber, okay, so what you have to do, you have to reduce the particular voltage, whatever the voltage you are applied to the particular cathode. That means you have to reduce the particular applied voltage to the zero after the duration of a few tenths of the nanosecond, because here also we will see that there should have some time concern, right? So depending upon the voltage, whatever the voltage you are applied to the particular cathode, depending on that your electron avalanche will be takes place inside the cloud chamber. Okay, so if you have to resist this particular breakdown process, okay, what you have to do, you have to do whatever the voltage you are applied to the particular cathode, okay, that thing you have to reduce in a zero time interval, or we can say that the few 10 or nanosecond time interval. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so this is actually the graph where we will see that the voltage plus which will be applied on the electrode plates, that we will increase very slowly. Therefore, the fixed value of the time supposed to be here. It should if it is a duration of the time. Okay, so for the time t is equal to 1, to t is equal to 2. Okay, you have a constant values of the signal. Then again the value will be reduced accordingly. Your applied voltage will be Defined. That means whatever the voltage you are applied to the particular cathode section, that thing will be defined this particular graph. That means first you have to increase the particular voltage at a particular time. Okay, so after the time, after the such time, you have a constant values, okay, of a voltages. Then again you have to decrease this particular applied voltage, so that your breakdown you can avoid, okay, in the electrode plates, right? That is the thing. Now, in this part, so this particular figure will be defined as an experimental arrangement. Okay, there must have some. If you see the in the high voltage laboratory, there must have some experimental arrangement which will be there inside the laboratory, and that will takes place when in the cloud, where how the actual cloud in the avalanche breakdown will be takes place in the cloud chamber, that we will physically observe. Okay, and what will be the applied voltage, that will be shown in the voltage section. Okay, that will be the experimental arrangement. Okay, not the theoretical arrangement we will be defined. Okay, so that is actually the experimental arrangement. Okay, there must have some laboratory, okay, in this particular section. Okay, so that you will check whether any such kind of breakdown will be takes place inside the cloud chamber or not. Okay, that you will physically observe these things. Okay, 1 second. So the now we will discuss about the last part, okay, of this section of a avalanche breakdown process. So this point, what we will see that here also we are considering the two cathodes on this section. Okay, then the electron will be, so we have applied the voltage in the cathode section. Okay, so then for that cases you E0 will be nothing but a E. Okay, E0 will be nothing but a, sorry, E0 is actually nothing but a E. Okay, so that will depends upon your alpha. Okay, whatever the coefficient actually. So here we will see that it will be goes, and again it will be goes negative. So since the drift velocity of the electron is at about the 150 times more than its ion, okay, hence as soon as the avalanche will be formed inside the cathode, whenever we have to apply some voltage on this particular cathode section, okay, what happen, as soon as the avalanche will be formed, whenever the flow of electron will be towards from the negative to the positive, then there must have some avalanche breakdown will takes place. Okay, so to recover this particular avalanche breakdown, either we have to reduce the voltages, okay, or we have to neutralize this particular voltage, whatever the voltage we are applied to this particular cathode. Okay, so for that cases, due to this particular avalanche, the positive ion remains practically stationary where they are produced. Okay, this positive ion is practically stationary. Stationary means if sometimes it will be stationary due to sometimes, okay, not every time it will be goes stationary. Okay, so at this state of the avalanche, the head of the avalanche is consequently built up by the electrons. Okay, the head means this portion, this portion, okay, which will be flows to the positive ions. Okay, the positive electrodes, or we can say that the positive plates. Okay, so this particular form of a track from the negative, this particular track from the negative to the positive form of a track is a wedge shape type. Okay, wedge shape type means it will be triangle shape type of structures. Okay, actually due to the thermal diffusion. Okay, so that particular shape will be defined, okay, due to the thermal diffusion, thermal diffusion due to the breakdown takes place in cathode. Okay, so the breakdown, how the breakdown will takes place, so whenever it will flow through this from this to this, so some of the avalanche breakdown will be takes place on this particular portion, that will form this particular thermal diffusion. Okay, so what it is written, the head of the avalanche is rounded. Okay, here we will see that in this point, the head is the avalanche will be rounded, since the diffusion of the electron takes place in all direction. Okay, as why this one is occurred, as because the electron will be flow directionally flow in the several section of the electrons. Okay, that we will assigned. So that is why this particular structure will be assigned, okay, due to the thermal diffusion or due to the certain breakdown or the avalanche breakdown inside the cathode section. Okay, see, yeah, you will see this type of things in the laboratory. Okay, so whenever we have some avalanche breakdown will be takes place, supposed to be here we have a put some negative and here we will put some positive now. So whenever this particular voltage we are applying on this particular portion, okay, so for that cases this such kind of shape will be there. Okay, why this type of shape is there? So for that cases that will sorry, this is negative, the upper part, and then it will be goes positive like this. Okay, so this type of structure you will see. Okay, so this structure will be developed due to the thermal diffusion. Okay, this particular structure will be developed due to the thermal diffusion. Okay, so so this particular things which will be defined, the figure which will be show the figures in this figure will be show the electron avalanche in the uniform field. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, see, the electron avalanche for the uniform field, and this figure which will be show the distribution of the charge carrier at this particular shape and the actual photography of this particular. This is actually the actual photography. Okay, and that actually which we will draw. Okay, so that is actually the thing. Okay, so in this particular experiment what we will see, that experiment will be did in the 1966. That will be slightly longer gap distance in a uniform field. Okay, so that photography will be takes on that particular time. Okay, and it is very relevant that when the light was the first detected in the chamber, the number of charge carried in the particular avalanche breakdown, there will be the space charge with the insufficient to cause a distortion in the applied electric field E0. Okay, E0, that means, or the we can say that the electric field intensity. Okay, the center of the electron cloud move and electron drift velocity corresponding to the electric field, which will be defined as a E0. The light first detected as known as a primary avalanche. Okay, here also the avalanche breakdown will be takes place in a two-way. One is a primary breakdown. Okay, primary breakdown, and another one is a secondary breakdown. Okay, secondary breakdown. Okay, so this particular experiment we needs to incorporate it in the particular high voltage laboratory, so that we will see or we will observe such kind of electron avalanches in the uniform field. Okay, and as well as in the non-uniform field also. Okay, that we will see in this particular structure. Okay. Okay. So in the next session, we will discuss a little bit about the photoelectron effect. Okay, which will be shown in the high voltage appliances. What in the high voltage laboratory will take place, that we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay. Okay. So we will today we will end our session. Okay, and again we will meet tomorrow. Okay, for the new topic. Is
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
okay.